I'm more than happy with a normal progression league-wide. I don't feel like we need any players progressing at superstar. I had the guys I focused on in my progression, they grew by a couple points this year, you
I
know.
can actually tell you exactly right now how many people are going to be moving up. We're going to have 18 quarterbacks that are going to be quick progression and better, and assuming no retires. And this is assuming no one retires that would otherwise progress. We're going to have 30 halfbacks, 40 wide receivers, 16 tight ends, 14 defensive tackles, 20 right ends, 20 left ends, 16 right outside linebackers. I don't know why it's different for left outside linebackers, but 12 left outside linebackers, 16 middle linebackers, 32 cornerbacks, 18 free safeties, and 18 strong safeties. Those are going to be quick or better player progression based on their performance of the last season. And some very few players are going to bump up to star or superstar. The only way they can bump up multiple what we call dev traits. That's a dev trait is the normal quick star or superstar. The only way they can bump up is if they've gotten things like, I think it's like player of the year, maybe all pro. I don't think all pro does it though. But things like getting those yearly rewards, the really big ones, that can potentially send your player up from normal to star or even superstar in one season. So you may really like Kenyon Drake next season, Dolphin.
Yeah. Yeah. I still don't know how I feel about that though, because the normal progression was so good, you know.
Right.
He went
We
up
may
2 points this year, you know.
right.
He was
We
already
may
94. He was
we
94 when I
may
got him.
we may need to look at potentially dialing it back. It's possible, because yeah, imagine if you get a player that's a rookie now. Well, yeah, like Kenyon Drake. I mean, he's going to get 99 OVR in 3 years flat, and he'll sit there for the rest of his life. And
Well,
another thing that
yeah, with
we
the they get the confidence bonus and all
right,
that too. That's another thing. I'm not sure that, I mean, normal, don't get me wrong. Every player on my roster didn't go up. Uh, some of them went up because of their confidence rating, where they're playing actually a level better than they are. But across the board, I was satisfied with my players, all of them's progression at normal. I don't know that it would need to be lower than that because the majority of my players did not progress. You
right,
know,
especially the older ones.
yeah. So I think that normal might be good. And remember, we started off high. We started off with rosters that were already beefed up. I mean, what was Rosen? 92, 93 overall.
Yeah, he
You
had
know.
91. Now he's 93, so he went
Okay.
up two.
Yeah.
And he's almost he's
Yeah. So
almost
he
gotten
he did really well, on his progression, so, we got we got to watch it and all that, but um, we're going to see some players going up. We're going to see some players going down as the league kind of balances itself out based on how people are winning and losing. And I'm interested to see how some of the teams that didn't win many games, how they regress. Because if it's too much regression, that's going to give us, the old too big of a difference between the top and end of the league, and we don't want that either. But
that's
we got to
true.
just look at it and do what's good and fair for the league. That's ultimately, what's going on. But right now in my mind, I'm really looking at a normal progression probably being, that's going to probably be where my argument lies when the coaches committee gets together and decides, how we're going to do that. And um, we'll see how the chips fall on that. But I think that there's some arguments to be made on all sides of that. You know,
Another
um,
thing that we will also see is that this year, this off season, we'll see more of our old players regress than any other season we'll ever see. And the reason why is because that dev trait, that quick star, superstar,
yeah,
it doesn't just affect how quickly your player gains experience. It also affects how slowly they regress. So I guess they designed it that way. They wanted players like a Tom Brady type player that's every single year being one of those top six cornerbacks to be able to continue to play into when they would otherwise have regressed if they were a normal player. So
right,
all of our top tier players are all normal progression right now. So they're going to regress pretty quickly.
right.
But
Well, and
let's
Tom Brady, Cam Wake, Brady's like 99 overall. Wake is like 92,
mhm.
93 overall, something like that. And they could both drop a couple points, and they're still going to impact the game. in a positive
True.
way,
Very
so.
true.
Anyway, I'm going to cut this short because I got more show to do, and
All right.
really appreciate you sharing with us some specifics about the new rule change on positions. I think that it's always good for people to be able to hear it, and obviously it'll be a topic that we are watching all season long and looking for ways to improve it, make it better, and make it a good thing for our league.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Dolphin.
All right, you take it easy. Thanks.
You too.
Somebody stop me, stop me, stop me. Please, somebody stop me, stop me, stop me. Oh, somebody stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.
You can't stop him. Okay, so here we go on the yearly awards that just were released in-game. You can see these on your menu right where I'm at when your game loads up in franchise, and you hit that tab and you will see some of the different award winners. Obviously the top award for this year is League MVP Kenyon Drake of the Miami Dolphins. I knew that he would be in the running. He had such a great season for the Dolphins, over 2,000 yards rushing, a scoring machine, but not just on the ground. He also had TD catches and good reception yards. Definitely a weapon in all aspects for the Dolphins this year. Averaged over 8 yards a carry and was just a threat inside and out. Just a monster, and made defenses' lives very difficult all season. The game selects Kenyon Drake, running back, Miami Dolphins, as the CFL League MVP. So great job for him. And the coach of the year was also selected, and it goes to Bears coach Levo, who has a 14-2 record and has first seed in the NFC playoffs. He was selected in-game as the coach of the year. Great job. There was a lot of, competition for that, including Coach Greg of the Cowboys, the producer from the Texans, and me, Dolphin Mike, with the Miami Dolphins, were in the top 4. The Raiders coach was also selected as a 5th possibility there, and Coach Rob of the Cards. And then, of course, Mike of the Titans was listed as a Coach of the Year candidate too. Congratulations to everybody on that list. There's many other great coaches in the league, but I can completely understand why the Bears coach Levo would get Coach of the Year in game. His defense came along faster than anyone else's, and he beat some of the top teams in the league, so he earned that, and we'll see if he can carry that through and maybe get a Super Bowl victory or not. Okay, in game, the Offensive Player of the Year was Kenyon Drake. Again, the runner-up was Connor of the Steelers and Phillip Rivers. It looks a lot like the MVP rankings, but anyway, Drake got MVP of the CCFL MVP, and he also got the Offensive Player of the Year for the AFC. The NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to, I want to say it right. It's not like Juice, I don't think. Is it Geis? Goose? I'm not sure. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. I remember in the draft, but he's a great player. The Redskins nabbed him as a rookie in the real NFL. I know he got a knee injury, but he played for the 3-13 Redskins, had a great season in the CCFL, and got the NFC Offensive Player of the Year award. NFC Defensive Player of the Year went to Reuben Foster of the Bears, 14-2 record, and one of the best defenses in the league. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Todd Davis of the Broncos, and he's playing a playoff game today against the Raiders, so congratulations to all those award winners. AFC Rookie of the Year goes to Sam Darnold of the Jets. Wow. I know that he got off to a great season, and especially right off the beginning, his first 8 games, they had a great record, and he was playing lights out. And NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year is Oren Burks. I know the Packers were sky high on him. Congratulations. He beat out Van Der Esch for that award. Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC goes to Rashaan Evans of the Titans. He had a great year. Played against him. He was a force. And narrow runner-up, Edmonds of the Bills, Fitzpatrick of the Dolphins. Top QB goes to Phillip Rivers in the AFC. And the NFC goes to Rosen. I'm guessing those are Pro Bowl spots, right? The Pro Bowl running backs for the NFC will be the Juice Man, and Bell, and McCaffrey. Wow. The AFC backs, Drake, of course, Connor, and Collins. Fournette, who led the league in rushing, fifth man listed. Interesting. Not sure how that is reasoned out. The wide receivers for the AFC will be Allen, Anderson, Bryant, Davis, and Hilton. For the NFC, it'll be Austin, who had fantastic season as a speed receiver for the Cowboys. Only 86 overall, by the way. Robinson, Thomas, Fitzgerald. The O-line for the NFC, Martin, Long, Unger, Frederick, Smith. The AFC Pro Bowl lineman, Penn of the Raiders, Pouncey of the Steelers, Hudson of the Raiders, Osemele from the Steelers, Sitton of the Miami Dolphins. Not surprised, he had a great year. And Villanueva from the Steelers, DeCastro. Love those guys. Great. The defensive line Pro Bowl for the NFC, Reddick of the Cardinals, Cox, Davenport, Jordan, and Golden. 2 Cardinals, 2 Saints. Impressive. Cameron Wake, Miami Dolphins. Nagakui of the Jaguars, Robert Quinn of the Dolphins, Bosa of the Chargers, J.J. Watt of the Texans, the AFC Pro Bowl lineman. The NFC linebackers, Todd Davis, T.J. Watt, Rashad Evans, Von Miller. The AFC defensive backs that made the Pro Bowl, Tremaine Johnson of the Jets, Baird of the Titans, Barry of the Steelers, Ryan of the Titans. The NFC defensive backs in the Pro Bowl, Lattimore, Jones, Apple, Joyner. The Pro Bowl kicker for the NFC is Cody Parkey. AFC, it is the Bills, Jason Myers. Okay, coaches, that's it. That is the CCFL Commish Show number 4. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us, and good luck in those playoff games this wild card weekend.
When I got the Memphis.